1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, shop. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, shop. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, shop. Here you can shop around the clock, all right.
Well, put on a smile, join the fun.
'Cause STN's got what you want.
This is the place to shop for all your needs.
We got low, low prices, guaranteed. Come on and shop STN.
Shop around the clock with your favorite stars on STN, your better shopping channel.
Shop with the stars only on STN, your better shopping channel.
I don't want any money for this. I just love to speak to people and talk about... Anyway. You can buy these, by the way.
Buy right here on STN.
Right here on STN.
We have, Milton,
What?
we have a special price available only to STN viewers.
This costs $17.95.
Not here, pal. Right here, we have a special price of but $13.95 for Milton Berle's BS, I Love You, right through STN. In fact, if you call now, we'll send you the book, and if you pay $2 more, Milton will come to your home and bring it. But it's a great price for a great book.
I'll tell you why I think it's selling. It's gone great. I could do that old joke that it's in its 14th printing. The first 13 were blurred. But I'm not going to do that joke because there's no truth to it. This is gone terrific. The book is terrific. And I'll tell you what's good about this book. It's not a novel. It's not a fiction. And there's not an opening, a middle, and an end. These are just anecdotes. And if you read this in bed, it can be read and reread. And this is a piece of Americana.
First time we've done this on television.
Oh, look, it's my new video.
Well, imagine that. Sweating with the Oldies, a video by Richard Simmons, and it's our item number 0305. Celebration price $39.95. This is different than any other on the market, isn't it, Richard?
Well, let me tell you why. You know, most exercise videos have me or another instructor in the front and 5 people in the back, you know, just... But what I did was I went inside a gymnasium, and it was built in 1928. I got Bruce Willis's live band, The Heaters, and I bought songs like Peggy Sue, He's a Rebel, Ain't a Mountain High Enough, Wipe Out, all of these great 50s and 60s songs. And it has real people in it, people who have weight problems, people who are thin, people who are in shape. And we have a little clip here if you'd like to see a little teeny bit of Sweatin' to the Oldies. Whoa! Sweatin' to the Oldies is pure enjoyment. You won't hear any wall-to-wall instructional chatter on this tape, but you will hear all of my favorite heart-thumping tunes from the 50s and 60s.
Would you do it the way you do it?
You know why I do that?
Why?
First of all, it started in radio, as most things did. It always annoyed me as a listener when I would hear an author being interviewed. Let's say I'm driving, I was a kid in New York, or I'm listening to the radio, and I tune in a little late, and they're talking about a book that this guy has written, and I never hear the title, and I'm interested, and or at the end they mention it once. Well, I'm picturing a guy driving in a car. I don't do it for the author. I do it for the audience. Here's the book. And I would say my guest tonight is Larry King. The book is Tell It to the King. It is published by Putnam. Now, if I personally like the guy, I'll read a quote from it. Now, in this case, I love the guy.
You love the guy.
So, I would tell you what, say, Mario Cuomo has said this about your book, Larry. Rarely has one individual so lighted up the radio waves and television channels of America. This is gross, you know. But Larry King has always occupied a special niche in the annals of our nation's broadcasting history and in the hearts of his listeners. His new book illustrates that truth beautifully. It's full of wonderful tales, rich humor, and brash reveries. In Larry King, Americans have truly found their great communicator, Governor Cuomo.
I hear so often how many people would love to study karate, but don't have the time, don't perhaps have the financial means to go to a class, felt intimidated by the whole idea. And this is a perfect solution for them because they can work out in their own home, you know, with themselves or with friends, and it really covers a gambit of people. It covers beginners. If you want to learn basic self-defense moves while you're getting in shape, this tape is good. It's just an excellent tape for everyone.
You don't move this
Keep
one
that
at all.
right by your hip. We're just going to do our right hand right now, okay? And 1, 2, 3,
3, 4, 5, keep your shoulders back, 7, and one more, okay, excellent, yes.
I love it.
I play the game at home, but it's tough to keep score because they do it with a pencil and a big sheet of paper, and the game moves so quickly. We go through about 55 clues and questions each half hour. They can't keep up, but with this, you can keep up. In the Jeopardy round, there's a column here with the scores for all of the clues in the Jeopardy round. This column has all of the values of the clues in the Double Jeopardy round. And all you need to do as you watch the program, once you turn the machine on, you press a button. If a contestant says, I'll take geography for 100, you press 100. And then you wait and you listen to the clue and you shout out your response. If you're right, you press right, and it records your score up here. And you keep doing that throughout the game, and it keeps adding your total. And it's very simple. You can keep track of the game as it's being played and of your score. And whenever the contestant hits a daily double, you press daily double. Here you've got $1,000 now, so you press daily double. And if you want to wager it all, you enter 1,000 and you wait for the clue. And if you're right, you press right. And if you're wrong, you press wrong. But most of the time you're going to be right, aren't you, Bob?
Oh, certainly. When you press right, it goes,
yes.
What happens if you're wrong?
When you press wrong, we'll put it close to your microphone. It's got a little
just like you do on the show.
But what it does is it enables you to get some kind of an idea as to how you would compare with our players on the show. So you can find out how good you are against your retarded cousin Lenny, or your cousin Beatrix, or your mom, or your dad, or whoever.
At 8 o'clock in the evening, and you're studying your script.
That's
and
right.
your call is 3:30 a.m. and you go, oops, who are you going to call?
You can't call
you
anyone.
Can't call anyone.
Mailbusters.
Good. Or you remember the name of this, La Salle 10, and it's made up of a new formula that has all sorts of extra strength ingredients to not only repair but help strengthen your nail.
Pam is so excited about this.
Pam, I can't thank you enough.
Pam,
My pleasure.
She can be obnoxious
I
about nails,
absolutely
right?
loved it. I can't wait to go home and play with this
I'm
more.
very, very proud of that. And as you know, I have never really connected myself with a product.
Yes.
I think the only thing I did many, many years ago was for milk. I don't connect myself with something unless I believe in it. And I tried this, I used it, and I found that it had no damaging effects to me. That was very important to me. And therefore, I decided to endorse it. And we're doing very well, and I thank those of the audience who are aware of it already, and our new friends. We thank you very much if you just try it, because we think you'll like it very much.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Well.
Mwah. It's
Love
nice
to
to
Vic.
see you.
You don't just have excerpts from columns, as a lot of people would do with a book like this. No, there are some other movie home video books that are very good, that are just one paragraph entries of 19,000 movies, you know. These are full-length reviews, 800, 1,000 words on each movie, and there are about 825 reviews in there of movies that came out during the last 20 years, and in particular 150 movies from the last 12 months. This book is so new that some of these movies aren't even on video yet, and one of them came out the day that we're doing this show, and that's E.T. And so that's already in the book, and that's going to be, of course, the #1 best-selling home video of all time. Kind of proud of the fact that, you know, I name my own genre. You have westerns, you have gangster movies, and I named the Dead Teenager movie. It has a very simple formula. You begin with living teenagers, and at the end of the movie, they're all dead. All except for one who has to be in the sequel, and then that person dies in the sequel.
You ever see anything like this?
I want to stay.
Well, you can.
We have sleeping bags, a little cot.
Yeah, we have that over in the home workshop.
Is that for sale too?
Uh-huh.
I want to go to the doll section. I see all the dolls are cute.
Yeah. So you wrote your book,
Uh-huh.
and in writing your book, you relived your life.
Well, I had a writer. He's wonderful, David Columbia, to write the book. I mean, I did tapes for 2 years, you know, and he followed me all around touring because I do a variety show. You know, I work everywhere, and it's 42 weeks a year. I'm on the road. I'm afraid if I stop working, I'll probably fall apart. See, so I just keep going at it. Well, once you learn to tap dance, you know, Steve, you just got to go.
Do
with
you
it.
still have to work to pay the bills?
No, I'm all out of that. Isn't
Are
that
you?
grand?
Yeah, you worked for years and years,
Oh,
and
no.
people would think, without knowing, that, boy, she must have so much money socked away because she works all the time.
I should have, shouldn't I?
But, boy, you didn't have
I keep
any.
calling here. That's what it is.
You keep calling SDN, yeah?
I keep buying little
that
things,
right?
yeah. I
Let's-
do. It's the pottery that gets to me.
Well, when you're a little guy, you don't have big hands, right?
Right.
And when you come with this big basketball, it like covers you.
Exactly.
You can't pick it up. It's very heavy for little kids. But with these, they're perfect size, and kids can have fun. They're not very heavy, so they can carry it around, you know. There's a basketball, a soccer ball, a football. It's great. I love these.
Do you like all three kinds of sports?
I love all of them.
Show them how you could grip that. See, now you're getting to be a pretty good-sized guy. Now your hands are getting bigger, but I've known you since you were about down here, and I know that you wouldn't have been able to pick up a big ball. Hold that the way you would if you're going to throw me a pass, Dan, okay? Hey,
Whoa.
good shot.
Whoa.
See, now not only in throwing, but look how easy that is for you to catch, too. See? Perfect. Absolutely perfect for you.
What do you call the release of the song, the bridge?
And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. More!
Talking about things you have recorded and records you have sold, we do want to bring to everybody's attention here as we move along that you have not one, not two, but 3 new albums out. Victimone, one is called Make Someone Happy, and one is called I Just Called to Say
I Love You.
I Love You, and the others?
Love Letters.
The Love Letters.
I made these recordings and I produced them and so on because I felt that I loved to sing, and I felt that we still had some people out there who wanted to hear me sing. And the record companies today...
I'd say there were a few, yes.
The record companies today don't think that we could sell, so I said, well, excuse me, but the heck with you. You know, we're going to go and produce it and do it ourselves, and we did.
And probably you had a hard time narrowing it down.
Did you look in the back? There's a, I fought my, I can tell this story now because my editor isn't with my publishing company anymore. He's with another one. And my publishing company was really bad. They wouldn't let me spend any more money. The very back, I don't know if you can just catch any of this. It's not important that they be right side up.
You're talking about the album covers?
Any of this, just let me zip through here.
Okay.
We photographed every one of these album covers on my front porch. These are all the stills from the movies, not all the stills, but they are one still from each film he's ever made. So it's really for the collector. That's why I love this book, for the collector. These are friends and relatives and just sort of a conglomeration. And this, the very back is about it's about it's called For the Record, and it lists all of the events that occurred in each year of his career.
So for the real Frank Sinatra fan, this is more than just a book. I want to show my favorite picture in here. This is not a photograph, but rather a painting. And why did you choose to put this in here, and this one of your favorites too?
I wanted this to be the cover, and again, my publishing company said no. They said, that's not Frank Sinatra. I said, what do you mean that's not Frank Sinatra?
Who would know better than you?
That's my favorite picture of Frank Sinatra. That's exactly my father. Exactly. It's
what's
a
he
painting
thinking
by...
there? What would you think would be on his mind?
Probably should I have unbuttoned my shirt or should I have worn a tie?
And it's 4 books of nursery rhymes, which are coloring books. And the kids sit there and they're coloring, you know, Mary Had a Little Lamb and everything, while they're listening to the cassettes. And on the cassettes, we're rapping Mary Had a Little Lamb or whatever.
Seriously, the word rapping is used advisedly. A lot of the rhythm is rock, boogie, rap stuff.
Well, I caught Jane when she appeared with Run DMC at the amphitheater. You were wonderful.
What?
She used to run DMC, as a matter of fact, but then she was voted out.
What we have here right now is we have a clip to show you some of what we're talking about, and then we'll come back and talk about it some more.
I can't wait to see it.
Pay attention. It's right here.
What's DMC?
Higgledy-piggledy-pop. The dog has eaten the mop. The pig's in a hurry, the cat's in a flurry. Higgledy-piggledy-pop. Higgledy-piggledy, here we lie, picked and plucked and put in a pie. The cow's in a hurry, the dog's in a flurry. Higgledy-piggledy, here we lie.
She sells seashells on the seashore. The shells that she sells are seashells, I'm sure. I'm sure that the
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Oh, I love it, I love it.
You're a pretty good rapper.
Oh, well, I tell you, the exciting thing has been going around the country. We've been doing the autographing things, you know, in the bookstores, children's bookstores as well as grown-ups. And the kids, they get up and they dance, they get so excited. They love it.
It's thrilling to be surrounded by a bunch of 4-year-olds who have no idea who we are.
It's a word finder, dictionary thesaurus. Thesaurus. That means, thesaurus means the people that are watching the show.
Thesaurus.
Thesaurus. David, I gotta ask you something.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Goodbye. You're leaving us, guys.
Let's take a look
Bye,
at this. Let me ask you something. This is a word finder, right?
Right.
Now, you know I'm a guy that's good with words. I know,
put a
for
word in there.
example, when you speak to someone and you have to project from your diagram, and what you say has to be fluid. Now, it's important that you use the right word. Like what would you say to a one-legged hitchhiker? Hop in. You need to know that. Or you're somebody that was going to the electric chair, you wouldn't say more power to you. You know, you wouldn't say that. But this thesaurus, it's from Selectronics.
Exactly.
And that you select a word, you just put the word in on the computer. I'll give you an idea. W-U-R-L-D. World.
Oh, W.
Now that's spelled wrong. Now I did that deliberately. I did that intentionally because I know that world is spelled W-U-R-L-D-E.
I do that intentionally many times.
So I didn't want to spell it wrong on purpose. But I did. Now I pushed the button spell. Watch this. Spell. Spell. Now what happens after that?
Just press it one more time.
One more time.
See, it does a search.
It says world. There is the correct spelling. W-O-R-L-D.
Which is called the tape.
The window of thoroughbred handicapping.
The window to thoroughbred handicapping. So this is a tape that will teach us the expertise necessary to go out and handicap correctly.
That's correct.
This is, while enjoyable and amusing, is loaded with real information.
Yeah, what we did was, there's an announcer out here, Trevor Denman, who's probably the premier announcer in racing, for those people who have seen such shows as the Winner's Circle and ESPN and things of that nature. You hear Trevor Denman, he's from South Africa, so he speaks kind of with a British accent, and he is uncanny at what he sees in racing. Horses will be coming around the turn. It looks like 2 horses are going to run away with the race, and he'll say the danger is the 5 horse, which is way in the back, and that horse eventually wins. He has a as I say, an uncanny way for spotting winners. We talked with Chris McCarron, who is the leading money-winning jockey in the country at this present time, and he's won all kinds of awards, Eclipse Awards and everything. He now rides Ali Sheba and Precisionist, some of the great horses. He's ridden 49er. So from a jockey's standpoint, from an announcer's standpoint, and then a professional handicapper, Steve Arthur, we put together all of that knowledge, which is really probably over 40, 45 years, certainly just from my going to the track. There are certain key things that you look for in handicapping, and we got it to the point where you can handicap a race in a minute, and I'll give you the horse that's going to run for you that day.
Oh, yes, thank you. A friend of mine almost went blind drinking a cup of coffee the other day.
Why? What happened,
He
Sugar?
forgot to take the spoon out of the cup. Well, through the teeth and over the gums, look out stomach, here it comes.
I thought you generally held your nose when you drank coffee.
Why, is there somebody else in the room?
No. I thought because you don't like it diluted. You want it good and strong. You don't want your mouth to water when you smell that.
You know what? Ducks are becoming, everybody loves ducks.
Why?
I don't know, but you know how to make a mandarin duck?
No, how do you make a mandarin duck?
Throw a brick at him. Okay.
And the mandarin will duck.
Duck.
Of course he will.
That's right.
We should have done, Soupy, like they do. Remember years ago when the radio shows were real big, and the guest would walk in. They'd been advertising for a week that he or she would be there, but they walk in and say, Soupy sales!
Oh, yes. It's almost like in the old days of live TV, which I like this, is when people discovered they were on TV and they weren't supposed to be, like a stagehand or somebody.
Yes.
And when they found out that they weren't supposed to be on, they didn't say, oh, excuse me, they'd go. No, they'd be like this. You'd be doing a picture, and they'd walk by like this, and they go. And they always go like this.
Sure, like if you have more than one bedroom, you need more than one
Yeah,
clock.
well, like I have a white clock in my kitchen, and I have a black clock in the bedroom. I knew you'd be thrilled about that.
I'm just sort of speechless at thinking about that. Hey, we've got to check out here. Thanks for calling in and thanks for shopping with STN.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
But let's look at it. But let's look at it this way, folks.
Should I feel guilty because I enjoy watching?
Not at all. It's interesting because the show was originally geared for kids 6 to 10 years old, and we have found out that kids 3, 4, and 5 like it, and 25% of our audience, people 18 years and older. So we skew all ages. And
I'm
that's
in there
what's fun.
somewhere.
Well, yeah, you're in there somewhere. We're all in there somewhere. Did you see the movie Roger Rabbit?
Yes, one of the best movies made in years.
I think so. The opening 3 or 4 minutes of that cartoon, I don't think I've laughed as hard at any other animated or non-animated thing in a movie theater in years. And Roger Rabbit is now everywhere.
Oh,
and,
sure.
If you go to Disneyland or if you go to any store, you will find out that there are shirts and pants. And we have an item over here that kids, my son saw Roger Rabbit for the 2nd time yesterday, believe it or not. And we have sheets, Bob, right over here. We have some Roger Rabbit sheets. And if you saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit, this is what you're going to want. It's item number 0324. The retail price is $25. The STN price, $18.95.
You read your book and you think you're going right down along and following the story, and you turn the page, open a new chapter, and it shatters you because it's totally different. For example, when you introduce Scott Industries, Ellen Scott, into your novel, I didn't know where you were going with that. I'm sure I was a typical reader at that point, but I expected this to happen because it's Sidney Sheldon.
I like to fool the audience. I never cheat, but I like to fool them. I like to lead them down a path and then twist it. It's very hard for me to find a book that I can't put down. I'll be reading at night and I'll get sleepy and I'll look ahead to see how many pages there are until the end of the chapter. And there'll be 5 or 10 pages and I'll say I can stay awake until then. When I get to the end of the chapter, I put the book down and go to sleep. I try to write my books so that when the reader gets to the end of any chapter, he or she cannot put the book down. They have to turn one more page.
Exactly, because you don't know what's going to be on the other side.
Yeah, I think that's fun to do, and I enjoy doing it.
Like The Other Side of Midnight. That's where you got the idea for the title of that book.